Hey friends. So I find myself learning one of the most age-old spiritual lessons, or really it's kind of more of a psychological lesson that's often taught in the spiritual tradition, which is, the lesson is, don't get too attached to the outcomes of what you're doing. Root into the intention, the execution, the presence, the existential reality supporting and nurturing everything that happens. And by all means, to have strong intentions and go for them, but don't get too worked up about how it's going. And the reason why this lesson came home to me is I had kind of a rough day yesterday. Just I had an interesting experience of kind of I think in some ways doing the opposite of what I just said. I was kind of dwelling on some problems I've been having, some things I don't feel like I've done very well recently. And I was getting down on myself about them. And I have there's a particular kind of story that my mind tells me when I'm kind of, getting attached to outcomes. And it's something along the lines of, I'm a dysfunctional human. Like, I'm just not a normal one. Like most, humans come off the conveyor belt and like they work pretty well, but I'm like broken. I'm like, I fell off onto the factory floor and got kicked or something, and like it just doesn't. Something is not right. that's my. And I'm making light of it, obviously, but there's a painful reality or painful realness to that feeling, because it really feels somehow like, and look, I'm guessing maybe somebody else out there has had that feeling before. And in fact, if you look at wisdom traditions, I think of the Bhagavad Gita, for example. Be attached to your labors, not to the fruits of your labors. Right? Have all the intention and the clarity and the urgency and the energy and the endurance and the courage that in the world. Have all those things in great abundance. And then let the outcome of the action be what it is without getting attached to it. Be attached to the action. Be attached to the labor, to the work. Don't be attached to the outcome. And the reason why I say this lesson came home to me is because I was sort of dwelling on some negative stuff yesterday. And then today I woke up, and again, I was kind of having this morning of I don't know, ruminating about where I had sort of landed yesterday. And I got up and I had a little work to do. I woke up early and kind of couldn't sleep. I was a little troubled again, kind of from these thoughts, kind of like, oh gosh. And then I did a little work in my office. And then we had a meeting for a creative project, for a musical. First meeting in a long time. 5 people on the meeting. Generally intense, creative environment. Brilliant meeting. Absolutely just sailing. I mean, there's there's stuff that we're going to have to work on still, but the dynamics and the flow and the conversation and just felt like a total home run success. So I was like, yay, now I feel great. And then I got to go play a competition with a young cello student who played beautifully, and it was a lovely experience. She didn't win the competition, but she did a great job. She gave a really solid performance, or I think a really moving performance. And again, it was like, yay, now I feel great. And I was like, wait a minute. I think I'm getting attacked. I think I'm being swayed by the fruits of my labors, not by the labors themselves. And it's, again, it feels great to let yourself feel good. And it feels great to celebrate a success when it truly is a success. It's not like we were supposed to pretend that it's not. It's just that we are supposed to keep perspective and keep our focus on the intention, the courage, the energy, the endurance, all the same things that produce the success. And we don't do that in order to produce success, because if we do that, then what we're really doing is we're fixated on success, and we're going to say, I think that the strategy for doing that is putting my attention on these other things. That's not going to work, because the universe is going to know that that's what we're doing, and it's going to frustrate our ability to get to that success, because our priorities are flipped. Our priorities aren't on the labor, they're on the fruits of the labor. Our fixation, our attachment is in the wrong place, and that's going to show up. And the way this showed up for me was kind of sort of like embarrassing to admit to the internet, but I caught myself rehearsing my favorite moments from the meeting. Like, that was a great moment. Oh, I said this thing and it really landed, and like, yeah. And I was like doing dishes, and I caught myself doing that, and I was like, what? Okay. I think I need to chill and remember what being attached to the fruits of my labors got me yesterday, when I felt like I just put my foot in it over and over and over again, and I felt accordingly. My inner state was essentially an outgrowth of a series of a feeling about a series of a lack of successes. So, yeah, it's great that, hit a couple, maybe, I don't know about home runs, but certainly solid base hits today. And let's celebrate that. Let's uplift that. Let's enjoy that. And let's not be attached to it. Let's not self-soothe by rehearsing or indulging those successes, because we're not actually getting attached to the good feeling. We're getting attached to the idea that the outcome determines our state. The outcome doesn't have to determine our state. The outcome can just be the outcome, and our state can be all about the labor itself, the intention, the energy. And I think, I'm trying to kind of catch this moment and be conscious, be deliberate about noticing this in myself, and hopefully bringing myself to that kind of more, to that other place, because I know how to do that. I know how to keep myself there. I know how to put my intention in that place, and how to receive success and failure. This isn't something that I don't know how to do. It's just something that if I get sloppy, or if I get lazy, or if I get distracted, I can sort of get a little lost. So that's where I landed today, people. The old Bhagavad Gita lesson came back loud and clear, and it was a lovely day. That's the great thing. I did have, at the end of this day, I'm like, yes, got some great successes, and I want to just be real with myself, be honest, and kind of keep that integrity that is the foundation of all those successes and more. So where I'm at today, people. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great day. I'll see you very soon.